Have you ever stuck with an option, decision, or action that you've made simply because it felt safe? You've done it countless of times before, even though you knew that choosing a different action might mean something better for you, might mean an improvement in your life. Have you also ever heard at work, "We've always done it like this"? Or have you heard the saying, "Better the devil you know"? These are the perfect encapsulations of the status quo bias. Status quo bias is one of the most subtle yet powerful cognitive traps we fall into. It's the tendency to favor the current state of affairs and resist change. Not because the current option is the best, but because change feels like danger. Now, why is that? We prefer things to stay the same because it's safe. We've done it countless of times and we've survived through it. The reason why we do this is because of our brains. The prime directive of our brains is to survive. They don't care in what state we survive in, but they just want to survive. The best form of survival for us is to keep safe and avoid danger. At least what our brain thinks it's safe. And what safe means is different from person to person, and depending on your life situation or whatever is happening with your life right now. Safety for one person may mean danger for somebody else, and vice versa. The way our brain reacts to different situations is going to be really subjective. The reason why our brain resists change is because change for our brain equals danger. Change is unpredictable, and our brain likes predictability. It wants us to feel safe. At the same time, change requires a lot of energy, and as a default, our brain is lazy. Wants to conserve energy because it never knows when it's going to need it for its survival. So this is the reason why when you're trying to change something, you're trying to improve yourself, you're going to feel more exhausted and more tired because you've expended more energy than what you're used to or what your brain actually wants you to use. And because we know change may be difficult to achieve, our brain resists us and almost forces us to do the same thing over and over again. Now that we've established what status quo bias is, how can we change it? How can we make sure that this inertia actually pushes us to change and not just to stay the same? Well, the first thing that we actually need to do is decide that we want to change. So people that don't want to change won't change. There's no other way around it. You cannot force yourself or a person to change. So when you've decided that you do want to change, there are a few things you can do to actually increase the chances of actually changing your habits, your actions, or your decision making. The first one is that you need to challenge your automatic preferences. So the best way to challenge these automatic preferences is by using the question why. Why am I doing this? Why am I picking this product? Why am I taking this action? I often use this process during work where I challenge myself and others on why are we doing certain things? How can we improve them? And some of the times I'm actually going to get the question of, we've always done it this way. It's been like this since I've gotten here. And then I'm always going to ask then, why are we doing this? Can you explain it to me? Why is the process like this? Can we do this process better so that we can improve your KPIs, your performance, and or that you can actually do it a lot easier and expend less energy and time on it? If I set the expectations of improvement in their work, how they're going to be perceived at work, that they're going to improve their KPIs and everything else about their work and their performance, people are going to be more willing to pursue different approaches than the ones that they're taking right now. The second strategy that you can use is actually to do a cost-benefit analysis. Whether you're doing this with your personal life or professional life, it doesn't really matter. Process and methods stay the same. So with a cost-benefit analysis, what you do is you evaluate what you're currently doing, and then you evaluate all of the other options into what costs are they going to bring you and what benefits are they going to bring you. And through this evaluation, you're going to be able to see if the current process or action that you're doing is better or worse than the alternatives. And when you have this analysis done, usually it's a lot easier to change your behavior because you have it written down and you're going to be able to see the actual consequences of your actions. Now, after applying both of the strategies and doing all of the analysis, and you're still unsure whether you want to change or not, it may be because of the sunk cost fallacy bias, which you can check over here.